Hello everyone, you're welcome back to the Positive Moments with Victoria. If you are joining us for the first time or you're yet to subscribe to this YouTube channel, kindly click the subscribe button and also click the notification button right beside it in order to get notified every time we upload a new video, and follow us on Facebook, on Instagram and on Twitter at PMB_music1. So today I have a guest in the studio and I'm really very excited to have him here. He's a theater producer, he's a director, and he's into events and quite a number of things. Join me as a welcome Emmylyskilz. You're welcome.
Thank you.
I'm so excited to have you here.
It's my pleasure.
Alright, get started. Who is Emmylyskilz?
Well, first let me start with my name. My name is Orisunmbare Emmanuel, popularly known as Emmylyskilz. Alright, so Emmylyskilz is a theater producer, creative director, creative writer. Emmylyskilz is an MC, yes, and I'm an event manager. So if you're talking about who Emmylyskilz is about, you'll be talking about theater, film, media, and event management in general.
Can you give us like a little background story behind Emmylyskilz? Like, let's know your primary school, secondary school,
Alright,
institution.
let's start from the primary school. I think I have this sentimental story about my primary schools because I attended quite a number of them, about 10 primary schools.
Wow, is there a reason for that?
Yeah, actually my highs is the reason for
Okay.
my number of schools because my parents don't have formal education. So I think I was born, I mean, they said for about 6 months I didn't open my eyes. So, I mean, eventually, since I opened my eyes after the 6th month, there was no problem again. I mean, nobody saw it as a thing to be worried about. So growing up as a child was very, very difficult for me. But then, because I don't have the words to express myself, I couldn't tell anyone what exactly was wrong with me. So at every school that I attend, they see me as a dullard because I don't get to see whatever it is you're showing me from a distance.
Okay, is it like short-sighted?
Yeah, eventually I got to know it is short-sightedness. So coloring, painting, shapes, identifying numbers, I could not do that. So at every time, every school feels I'm a dullard, and my parents wanted to help me, so they have to change my school. They have to change my school. So at every point in time, but I think from the 6th to the 7th school, I started noticing that they say I'm playful, that's the word. That maybe that's why I'm not the school type. I mean, that was the whole story of my primary school. But I was lucky at the 10th one, which is Honeyfield Nursery and Primary School. That was where my class teacher noticed what exactly was wrong, and that was where it was figured out. Then
Was it in Ibadan here? Did you grow up
No,
in
no, no,
Ibadan?
no. I grew up in Lagos.
Wow.
I grew up in Lagos. So Honeyfield Nursery and Primary School is actually in Lagos.
Alright, so your secondary school?
Yeah, so from there I moved to my secondary school. I attended 2 secondary schools in my life, which is Liberty College there in Lagos and King Emmanuel Progressive College, which happens to be where I did my senior secondary school. So from there I proceeded to the University of Ibadan, where I studied theater arts and presently running my master's program in the same department.
Okay.
So that's more like my educational background.
Wow. So was it because you wanted to run your masters that it made you stay in Ibadan, or you fell in love with Ibadan?
I actually fell in love with Ibadan. Masters did not make me wait back in Ibadan. I stayed back in Ibadan because Ibadan welcomed me. Yes, I lost my dad in 200 level and I happened to be the first one. So it was not easy for me schooling here in Ibadan, at the same time managing my mom and my siblings in Lagos. And looking at, I stayed back in Ibadan because Ibadan was welcoming. I mean, the hospitality for me was top notch. And in 200 level, I lost my dad. So it was very, very difficult for me, being the firstborn, to manage my academics here in Ibadan, at the same time manage the family. in Lagos because my mom and 3 other siblings. So the best way I could manage it was get my mom a place here in Ibadan, move her down. Then it was always easier for me. She was staying at Bodija. So I school at UI, so going to Bodija to check up on her, be with her was never a problem. And looking at the markets around me, I mean, I was studying theater. I was hoping that one day I own my own theater troupe and have a theater building named after me. So I felt Ibadan is really a welcoming place for me to start anything. So I stayed back and I didn't regret.
Yeah, Ibadan is actually a welcoming town. Like, it's like even Ibadan has more outsiders
Of
now.
course, yes.
Like if you meet 10 persons, 6 out of them are not from Ibadan.
The hospitality is high. It's high, very, very high. So I think anybody will feel like an home-based person here in Ibadan.
So where are you from, your state of origin?
Well, I was born in Lagos. Say that's
your state of origin.
Well, my dad. My dad is also from Lagos, say Badagry. But there is an ancestral lineage to that. So if you trace it, the whole of the old ancestral thing is actually Benin Republic. But you always, because of the migration and all, to Badagry, so
I
they say
think
they're
somehow
from Badagry.
Benin Republic can be traced to Yoruba land.
Yes. So that's why I said the whole ancestral lineage thing. But in order to cut myself the stress of all, I just said, okay, I'm from Lagos. Since I was born in Lagos. But my dad is from
a lot of people claim Lagos where they are really not from Lagos.
But my dad is from Badagry and he has his ancestral lineage to Benin Republic.
Okay. So can you like tell us how you started theater? Like apart from the fact that you studied
theater. Okay. Well, for me, I see it as a very funny journey because after I got help with my eyes and eventually everyone knew I was not a dullard. It became a thing to prove everyone wrong that I was not a dullard. So, and the best student are always in the sciences. Yeah, so the quest not to satisfy myself now but everybody around me now started spurring me into actions which began with first I wanted to be a doctor growing up. So I was always focusing more on the old science courses, even in junior classes and all. But then along the line I was in JET club, you know, this old secondary school idea of curricular activities. I was in JET club, but at the same time I was always shuffling between JET club and cultural club. I do some of their chants for them, songs for them, dance and all, and drama. Then it moved on like that to secondary school. I was still doing that up till I got to senior secondary school, even till I finished. But then in SS1, I was moved to the science class after the whole. My school does this thing they call GS 3.5, where after the junior one, just students just to know where to put you and all. I was thrown in the science class because I aced almost all, even all subjects, but more of the sciences. But then when it was time for the whole calculation, Ohm's law and all, I started having problem in the third term of my SS1. But then I changed school to King Emmanuel Progressive College. Then I was running the whole program at the same time. I was going to literature class, commerce class, but I was still in the science classes.
Like, was it your choice or?
My choice. It was my choice. Even some of the teachers always disagree, but then like, no, this is my free period. I just want to listen to what was going on and all. But then in SS2, before they registered us for WAEC, I told myself, I can't do science. I can't do science. That I was going to do arts. Then it became a problem between teachers, the school management. Like, I can't change in SS3 to say I want to, but I told them, because I was paying my own school fee myself, like, I want art. If I write this exam in the sciences, I will obviously fail. So everybody was worried about the time constraint and all, and then I said, no, I will do it. So everybody left me since I was going to do it. Then I crossed from the science to the arts class then. I started taking extra activities just to meet up and juggle up. And when I had my mock, everybody was mad, like, who is this boy? So from the mock exam, my teachers just answered down that, okay, it seems this boy actually knows what he wanted, because I didn't fail any of the arts courses.
Okay. So let me guess, your favorite subject was literature.
Definitely literature, because even from junior school, I mean, I was always doing literature, and even writing exams. I always prefer to sit beside my seniors writing literature exams, because they always miss junior and senior then in Liberty College. So I always prefer to sit beside them, and sometimes I want to help them with their literature.
Wow.
Because I know more. So literature, that's the strength.
Literature is actually very interesting.
For me.
But what part of literature do you really love? The oral literature, written literature, poetry?
For me then
Drama
it was more of the drama. I was concerned more about performance in the literature, because whenever I'm reading a text, I'm playing it in my head. And that's what always set me aside from every of my classmates then while I was writing WIAC. Because everybody is reading to do the literary appreciation. But I was not always bothered about literary appreciation. I was always bothered about, okay, what if this is actually happening in the class, and so person is playing this, so person is playing this, what would it look like? How would it come out? That's the way that's always been for me. So it's always about the dramatic aspect of literature for me.
Wow, that's interesting. Okay, can you tell us why you decided on theater production and not going into filmmaking proper?
Well, for me, I think it's a sentiment, and at the same time, it's a personal decision, because theater for me, as much as I would like to say, is not easy to do. But theater for me as a person is easy, or say easier for me to do, because it's my line of study. Not like I didn't study film. I'm still studying film, but I don't think I have the budget to compete in the film industry just
Well, apart
yet.
from the budget, would you prefer the stage thing?
I will do stage every time and any time over film. Any day, any place, over film. Do you understand?
Yes.
I would even prefer my films to be specially commissioned projects. Maybe film for change, maybe a film on documentary on disease. I prefer to use, if I'm going to film anything that I can't bring live on stage, I prefer it to be special projects. Maybe in engineering, maybe in medicine. I mean, now the world is advancing. Before, they don't record surgical processes, but now they do. So I rather prefer to talk about the particular disease, the healing processes, as a film, rather than just doing the contemporary love. Except I'm working on an historical event. Again, that's another kind of film I would love to shoot.
You love history too?
I love history a lot. I love history a lot.
Do you have like a favorite director or producer that you're looking up to?
Well, I have people that I look up to personally, and funny enough, I don't take time to study them as much as I would have loved to, but I just like their person and their way of doing things. And at some moments when I am down, I see those people as a reason why I should not be let down, not because of their craft, but the way they went about their craft. Most importantly for me, somebody like Tyler Perry, I mean, he's single-handedly pushing himself to break limits as far as his industry is concerned. And I look at him as a person, and I'm like, okay, if I thought I was going to set a standard for myself, I can set a Tyler Perry standard, because I don't set standard for myself based on people.
So do you like watch more of foreign movies?
Nah.
Because you're talking about Tyler Perry.
Yeah, well, that's the first person that I have on my list. But then I balance it. But sure, I prefer more of African content than the foreign content. If I'm watching any foreign content, it's a study material for me. Like I said, I want to shoot film of top standard. So the reason why I'm watching foreign content is, okay, what can I do differently if at all I want to venture into film from what they are doing here? But then when I look at our own Nigerian industry too, we have a lot of people doing great. Somebody like Kunle Afolayan now, anytime, any day, I want to understudy how he single-handedly, I mean, he's fast creating his own industry as a filmmaker. He's fast creating that industry. Rogers Ofime is somebody that I want to look up to, saying, okay, in the way these guys do their thing, what do they do differently? So I would rather look at them from that perspective as an individual. Like, how are they striving to keep this going, rather than letting the obstacles of the economy, the environment in which they find themselves, Nollywood does rubbish in quotes. How are they leveraging over those things and not letting it get to them? So anytime, any day, those three people.
I was actually expecting you to mention somebody, but you didn't mention the person.
Okay, maybe you want to mention the person. I can tell you, okay, maybe I'm a secret admirer of the person.
Oh yeah, I was expecting you to mention Tunde Kelani.
Well, you see, there are some people that you don't put in some certain categories. So Tunde Kelani is no longer in the category where you say, it's by default. If you are a creative director or an aspiring creative director and Tunde Kelani is not in your book of study there, I don't know what you're planning to do. So I mean, I can't be, if you ask me to compare and contrast now, I can't put Tunde Kelani in the era of Rogers Ofime, in the era of Tadio Gidon, Kunle Afolayan. He's more than a godfather, so he has a space that is not with anybody. Okay, so that's actually the idea.
Wow.
Nah, Tunde Kelani anytime, any day. Anytime, any day.
Okay. Can you tell us about your upcoming projects?
Well, upcoming projects, I have a lot lined up, especially in the area of theater. I have a show coming up on 30th of April, 1st of May. Then I have another one coming up for May 2nd. Now, May 2nd is a usual thing that I do, which is every first Sunday of the month I run Stage Alive. Stage Alive is a monthly stage play shows that I run in Ibadan every first Sunday of the month.
Where is the location?
Wale Soyinka Theatre UI or New Culture Studio. New Culture Studio does not allow the rainy season for performance because it's not covered. Do you understand? So the weather is unpredictable. I actually had a show then in November. It was raining heavily and my actors had to be playing under the rain. That way we just had to move the audience into the gallery. So because of that now we balance it. If early, my first show for the year was actually at New Culture Studio. That was February 14th. We did women, so it was at New Culture Studio. Now that the weather is fast changing, we're moving into the Wale Soyinka Theatre, which is actually covered, and whatever the weather, there's nothing stopping the show from happening. So I run Stage Alive every first Sunday of the month, and it's a stage play shows that happen. We're trying to bridge the gap between cinema and theater.
Okay.
So the basic idea is actually to get to a point where we run stage plays every weekend, just like people go to the cinemas almost every day and there's a film to see. So we're hoping that we get to that particular standard where you just walk into the theater and there's a schedule of stage plays, stage performances that you can actually see at your free will. But for now, starting with monthly, and we've been doing well. I mean, the consistency level has increased and has given us hope that if we can sustain the monthly, definitely when it comes to the weekly or weekends that we're looking at, we can also achieve it.
Okay. Your stage plays, is it, do you, because I've been to some I've been to some stage performances and I discovered that the stage play is kind of there's a way they kind of involve music with it, like opera or something like that.
Okay,
Is
like
that the kind
musicals.
of thing you do, like musicals?
Well, for me, just like I told you, it's a vast economy for me, depending on what we want to work on next. Take for example the play I'm doing on April 30th and May 1st. It's a total theater. What do you mean by total theater? It means there's acting, there's music, there's drumming, there's dancing. That's the Queen's Wish by Pat Obilo. I am the one directing. So that's a total theater. It has music, it has dance, drumming, and all for 30th and May 1st. But May 2nd is a stage play that does not involve music, the old dance thing, but it's still a stage play that has its own other accompaniment that is not the usual drumming, singing, and all. So it depends on what project we're working on. It depends on the selection that we make, but it's always intertwined. It's always intertwined. If you want to do musical, I've had productions like that, like the Visafy that I did in December 2019. That was talking about youth and how they all want to leave the country. It's a musical. The music was infused, a live band was infused into it, and also all these are all part of the project, but it depends on what we're working on next and the requirements. How do we intend to tell the story?
Okay. Do you have like a central theme that your stage plays are based on? Like maybe politics, satire, love, or anything like that?
Alright, for me, I always see myself as a universal being. So I don't set limits for what my projects talk about. Universal. We see ourselves as a mirror of the society.
Yeah.
And because we are diversified, if, for example, EndSARS happened recently, we can put that into a play, which there's a playing process to talk about that particular incident using live stage play. So it depends on our environment, it depends on our community. We are not set bound on one particular central thing. All we are just bothered about is telling our stories to fit into this society. Anybody coming to the theater can as well be entertained and at the same time find every of our play relatable. So it's all depend on what is happening in the environment, what is happening in the society.
Okay. Alright. Do you have any word of encouragement for anyone that is about to start the kind of journey that you have started, like as a theater producer or as a stage director? Like, what can you say to maybe someone young that is just like, okay, I want to do this?
Alright.
What can you say?
For anyone who wants to venture into theater, first I would advise that you build yourself a thick skin. And when I mean thick skin, there is a lot involved in producing theater. And not even from the aspect of producing alone, no. Even production, the pre-production, the post-production. So for anyone who wants to venture into theater, you have to build a thick skin. It's that thick skin that helps you to weather every storm that comes with you. Because even thick skin for yourself to get ready, because theater is definitely stressful. I mean, talk about the rehearsals. For the one I'm doing presently, I do roughly 12 hours of rehearsals.
Wow, at a stretch.
At a stretch, so we just give ourselves break in between. Probably because I'm running two plays together. But then, depending on the volume of the project you're working on, you need to be ready. That's theater for you, and there's a lot that goes into it, because it's not like film that you have the opportunity of saying, okay, cut, take again.
Yeah.
So we always put extra effort
not miss a line
into that rehearsal so that we don't mess ourselves up in the presence of the audience. Then another thing, if you're lucky or you're blessed and you're from a rich home, come with your money. If you want to do theater, come with your money, because presently there's a struggle between getting sponsors and support for theater, because people feel in quotes that there's no money in theater. So investors are always scared to put their money into theater, asking questions if they will make their money back, if it will thrive, and all those stuff. So that risk is there. Of course, there is theater in money. There's a business part of theater, which every day I try as much as possible to break the norm and let people understand that. So don't worry, if you put your money into this, it's been a long time coming, you get your money back. But then, to make it a lot easier for you, and you don't have to start knocking from door to door looking for sponsorship, come with your money. That makes it a lot easier for you to run your project even when you're not getting support at first. And that's another thing. Then another thing that can make it a lot easier for anybody is have your own troupe. Have your own troupe. Have a team. People call it a team, but in theater we call it troupe. You need to have your own troupe. Let there be a set of people that believe in what you're actually doing, because that's the way it becomes easier for you. The monthly stage play shows that I'm running is a lot easier for me because there's a standby troupe that are all incorporated into the idea of Stage Alive. I mean, Stage Alive is just one of the projects that we have lined up in Emmylyskilz production, but Stage Alive is our basic, because I don't have that luxury of finance to start attending to every of the projects that I have. So Stage Alive is the one we are faced and is doing really well, and we feel okay, let's just put our energy into this. When this can stand on its own, it can give birth to every other project that we have in mind. So having your own troupe is really, really key. I mean, a team that will always have your back, and even if you feel that you're not doing well, I mean, there are certain members of your team that still believe in the dream and will keep reminding you why you started. Because that's one of the ways that I've got to this position, because I've had reasons to want to back out. Number one, the money was not forthcoming. Myself, I was not making progress from the whole stage play thing. But I have members of my team who, when I share the ideas with Original, they still have it in their head fresh, and they believed in it, and they have a picture of what the future looks like in it. So whenever it feels like, okay, Emmy is getting tired, you just get someone like talk and say, Emmy, we are doing our next show. I don't know, you don't have money fine, but we still have to do it too. I mean, there are a lot of them like that who be like, okay, Emmy, Alpha, okay, what are we doing? What are we not doing? Okay, what do we need to do? So the team, when you have a team that believes in what you are doing, it is no longer your project, it becomes their project. So a troupe is actually very important, because it's a way to also make stars out of ourselves, because nobody is doing theater presently, so we are the only one doing. So the few people that are doing theater are just few, and before you can get a role in some of these places, they have their troops too. So it's just a way of being our own stars in our own place. And
yeah, that's good. So how do you generate income? Do you pay your troop members?
Yes. Yeah,
So
talking about generating income.
Like, how do you manage to like pay your troop members, they take care of yourself, or do you have any other job you're doing apart from?
Okay, generally, when the whole idea started, it was not easy paying people, because a lot goes into making it happen. Then you're not even making gain from what you have put in, then not talk of paying people. But because there is an original idea and agreement on how we want to run things, everybody have the pure understanding that when the money comes, we will get paid. But if the money is not there, we still have to do something that will make the money come. So we continue that way. But I mean, I'm happy now that I can pay my actors now. I mean, I pay actors, and I mean, it is not what I want to pay my actors. It is not the standard wage that I will say, okay, my actor, you're working tirelessly, this is what I want to pay you. But it is now better than when it used to be after show, guy, thank you, we don't try alpha, when the next year will start. No, it has always been now, okay, let the account person give us an account of what went into the production, what did we make, okay, this is how much we get to you, this is how much we get to you. So that's been a lot. And talking about generation of income, well, I do hope that I get better in that area, because one, I use my own personal money for my shows, and these are funds that come from other extra activities that I do apart from producing stage play. I write scripts for people. I create programs for people for both TV and radio. I write short plays, I write skits for people. I MC events, I manage people's events, I do voiceovers, I sing.
Wow.
Yeah. So sometimes
are you
people
going to sing for us before you sing?
No, I don't sing today. But at least I do music for people. Like sometimes people have projects and they be like, okay, Emmy, I just need you in the studio to
is
sing.
it like soundtrack?
Yeah, I can do soundtrack for films. I mean, I do soundtracks for film, and there are some inbuilt films that people want a kind of radio feel, radio program running as part of the cuts they have there, so I can be in the studio do it for them. So those are the extra activities, and I manage people's shows too. manage their show, publicity for people's shows, draft strategies that can help them sell their show. So these are places that I get some of the funds that I put back into my own personal project. Then the ticket too is doing really well these days.
Okay.
So that's another good way of generating income, but not as much as I would have wanted it to be. But trust me, it's a process that we are ready to follow till the letter.
Alright, so judging from when you started and now, how can you compare the people's reaction to theater now? Is it the way it used to be, or things have changed?
Well, for me personally, as a person, things have changed, trust me, because from when I started, I mean, I had instances where I rehearsed my actors almost sometimes 2 months, and when it's time for performance, I am the only one who still see the play.
Wow.
Yes. I'm still the only one in the theater who wants to see the play, and I'm like, okay, the same play I saw for 2 months, I'm seeing it alone. But now the response has been really, really, I mean, every time I think about the number of people over the time that has grown with what I am doing, I don't always want to give up. Because it started from a point where I am the only one in the theater watching the stage play, to 2 people, 3 people, 5 people. And the funny thing about this thing is, it looks like it's a disciple kind of thing, because when 3 people come this month, you have another 3 people come. Those 6 people will not miss the 3rd month. And they have the intention of bringing another set of people because they enjoyed what they gave. So from there we started growing and say, okay, because we always go through the attendance and we find out that, okay, this person was here the 1st month, 2nd month, 3rd month, this person is now an ardent lover of what we do. So we started calling ourselves as a community of theater lovers. It's no longer an individual thing. It's not a community. There's no way you come to see our stage play and you're not interested in coming back and at the same time bringing another person, because we put everything into it. And trust me, we always give it our best shot. So I'll say thank you to everyone who has always been supporting my stage plays. Yeah, the reason why I'm not giving up, and it's fun for us.
Alright, so can you tell us when, how will I put it, your funniest moment ever since you started? Maybe probably one of your actors was acting on stage and forgot the line or anything, anything like that.
Okay, well, for me, I had up in the funniest moment for me. I think the funniest moment, because in that regard, we put too much time into rehearsals than any actors forgetting line, because they see it as their life. But if I'll say any funny moment for me, it's not a funny thing, but to me it's always funny, like being in the theater and for a good 6 months straight, I'm the one who watches my own play.
6 months, that's a long time.
So that's a long time. Like, it's always, because that was the initial stage when I started. I mean, it was not popular even among students there, because I was doing UI and all. Then it's always crazy. I'm like, it's not supposed to be funny, but it's funny to me. Like, I feel I'm doing good, but why are people not turning up? Why are people not showing up? But then, and I think another time that I feel is a funny scenario to me was when one of my actors got on stage and everybody was on their feet.
Why?
Like, the applause was, even he himself was too embarrassed to even continue the play, because everybody was just shouting, "Star boy, star boy."
Okay, like he's a popular person.
He's a popular, I mean, in my theater troupe, he's always been one of the faces, and that particular month, it's a 4-man play. So it was almost towards the end of the play. I mean, the first 3 actors have shown. So everybody has thought those are just the 3 actors to expect, only for him to show the magic appearance. I'm like, this guy did it. And they all applauded that, and his entrance was so dramatic. So where I was like, okay, wow. So one day I didn't think one of my actors would get that kind of standing ovation from audience members, and I feel that kind of funny moment that I remember, and I was like, okay, I think we're doing good and we can only get better.
Do you still act?
I act.
Like, but a major role or just cameo appearance?
Alright, in the show we did in February, I acted. That was towards the end of the play. You can put it as a cameo appearance. The reason why I don't act is because I have too many actors vying for roles. So I don't want to put myself in the competition of competing with my actors. I act. I mean, it's a thing for me. That's how I started. But then I have too many actors involved in, I mean, having about 30 people on ground who want a role, and you being the director also want to compete for the role. And the stress of being the director and the producer of the play alone is so much that I can't even think about acting. Those two areas, because they are actors on ground, and at the same time being the producer and the director is a stressful project, because that's being two people in one person. So, but then I act, if need be.
That's good. Okay, let's get a little bit personal. I don't know if people have actually been seeing you as a celebrity, like you're walking on the road and somebody's just like, oh, you're Emmylyskilz, can I have a picture? Or anything like that. Have you experienced anything like that?
Alright, personally for me, I don't like the idea of celebrity, because I play a lot. And I don't like constraints as a person. I don't like limits. I don't like, because I am Emmylyskilz, I can't do this. I don't like that as a person. But then people are pushing me to that particular wall, and every time I try to bounce back to let people know, see, I don't want this celebrity idea. I want to be a celebrity. I want to be known for what I do.
There's nothing you can do about it.
Trust me, there's nothing I can do about it. And trust me, I've had instances like that, like especially when people finally meet me in person. I'm like, this guy, you don't even look like that Emmylyskilz that I've been picturing in my head.
It's true, you really don't look like the Emmylyskilz that I pictured in my head.
So people are always like, guy, you put this your glass, I'm almost that picture, all those kind of things. So I have that. I mean, like you said, I might not have a choice, but then I'm trying to break the norm of being a celebrity and still being myself. I mean, I want to be known, but at the same time, I still want to be able to go to the market myself. I still want to be able to enter into a mall, and you do the whole celebrity thing, but I still want to go back to be myself in a mall, rather than I can't enter a mall, I can't do this, I can't be caught eating ice cream, I can't be caught licking my mango. I mean, you have to some standard that everybody
You just see it on Linda Ikeji, popular director court.
You understand that kind of thing? So, but then I look forward to being that person that will be celebrated for what I do.
Yeah.
But then celebrating in quotes, don't push me to the wall, don't make it look like I'm a super god. Of course, I want to be a super god in what I do, but then not a super god that you would now be expecting. Don't set higher expectations from. I know what is expected of me as a person and as a position of celebration that people have put me. I know what is expected of me, so don't set unnecessary standard for me. Don't say you will be celebrating, you're not supposed to do this kind of thing. I don't want that.
When they start telling you have to give away.
You know this kind of like you don't even know if celebrity don't chop or you never chop. And you do so, but then I mean I understand what comes with popularity. I mean, and with the kind of thing I am doing, if I am not known, my work might not be known. There are people like that who are actually known through their work, and there are some people it is their work people know. But me, I want both. I want to be known, and I want my work to be known. But I don't want to be boxed up into that celebrity idea. Then you get. I'm an artist. I need my freedom. So I don't want that boxing up into celebrity lifestyle. No.
Okay, so what do you do when you're free, like in your leisure time?
My leisure time.
How do you catch fun?
Well, I catch fun by traveling.
Traveling, like
adventure. I love visiting places. There's a friend of mine that runs a tour. Is a tour Ibadan. So anytime they have tour, I always see that my primary assignment to actually be on those tours with them, because the more I see, the more my knowledge is broadened, the more pictures that build up in my head when I come back into my own workspace, and like, okay, I think I've seen this before if I try it on stage it works. But then apart from that, I love playing football. That's another thing that I do. I mean, I play football. I love
so
playing
are you
football.
like I don't know much about football, but I know there's something called striker, defender, goalkeeper.
For me, actually, football is always fun for me. At least recently, for some few months now, I've been more of a goalkeeper because I hate when people say you can't do this. So people always feel because of my glasses, you want to keep, you do okay like this. But then I've always been in the Ibadan Twitter community group knows me as their goalkeeper, second goalkeeper. But then I prefer playing. I'm more of a winger and a striker and a forward. I'm a forward person, yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. Okay, so which can you mention some places that you have visited in Ibadan? Your tour Ibadan?
Well, my tour around Ibadan, I love LA River. I don't think I've ever been on any big water body as that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is it that big? Is it like beach? I've never been
Yeah,
there,
the
so
river
I'm hearing about
it's
it.
quite big. I mean, and the boat ride on it, it was from a point to another point that was more like, say, some 30 minutes on the boat.
Wow.
I don't know, maybe the boat was necessarily slow because it was a tour, so they wanted us to see everything. But then it was from one point to the other. It's not like crossing into another settlement, and we came back
Okay,
again.
so there were people living at the other end.
At the other end too, so
Yeah.
people come from there.
But those people, are they still part of Ibadan? That's another
Yeah,
town.
it's still Ibadan.
Wow.
It's still Ibadan. It's still inside of Ibadan. So then bar store too. I mean the yeah.
I've been there.
So it's a lot of fun for me. And then this place, I'm trying to remember it. They say it has 99 rooms. This mansion.
Really?
Thing. Yeah.
In this Ibadan?
In this same Ibadan. If you follow Toy Ibadan,
Where?
you know more.
Which area is that?
I'm trying to remember the area. Actually, it's a house built by an individual, Agbaje something. But they say it has 99 rooms. We were not able to visit the old rooms that day we went because the person in charge was not around. And I've been to Adrawaye Lake too. That's outside of Ibadan anyways.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, stay in Oyo State.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was fun for me. It was fun for me. I'm trying to remember if Adrawaye is in, I'm not sure Adrawaye is in Ibadan here. I'm doubting it.
I'm hearing that for the first time.
Yeah. But then I know that that's another beautiful place that is an hanging lake, and that's the second in the world.
Wow.
Yes.
Well, how come those places are not popular?
Well,
Like, cause I'm hearing it from you for the first time.
thanks to Toy Ibadan, I don't know about it too. But
Wow.
then Toy Ibadan is doing a great job of opening up Ibadan. A great job. So that's my leisure. I put them on the top list of my leisure because I know I'm going to discover somewhere new.
I'm tempted to ask, have you been to Agodi Gardens?
I went to Agodi Gardens now, of course. If you've not been to Agodi Gardens, nah. I've been to Agodi Gardens.
Have you been to Trans Amusement Park?
Hey, what do you think I have? Yeah, I have a busy schedule, but then these are some of the places that I look forward to putting up a stage play there one day when I have access. So those are places. So I've been to Agodi Gardens before, and I know that I can do a play here. I can do a concert here. I can do a music event here. I've been to Trans Amusement Park too. I can put a stage play. So anything place, mention it. I might have been there before in this Ibadan because whenever I visit a new place, the first thing I'm looking at is how can I convert it into a theater space. Yeah.
Alright, before we go, what's your favorite color?
My favorite
I don't know, your fans might be watching. Maybe you want to get to something and you're just like, okay.
Personally, I love everything that makes me look beautiful. I don't have a favorite color. Do you understand?
Do you have a favorite food?
My favorite food, it should be beans and plantain, then amala and ogufe.
You have mentioned more than one now.
I know, I told you, I don't get bucked up. And growing up, I didn't have options. I didn't grow up with options. So I think I'll have to unlearn all those aspects of, because I didn't grow up with options. I grew up with this is what we have, that's what you will get. So I didn't grow up with, okay, this is it, which one you want. So maybe as I'm growing up now, when I start having my own family, then I can start having options to say, okay, this is what I want, this is what I don't want. But personally, I feel everything that was created beautifully. So I can go for it.
What's your favorite dress code? Do you prefer English wear to native wear?
For me, my favorite dress code of all time should be smart, which is any top that looks comfortable on me, and my joggers with my sneakers because I'm always rehearsal ready. But therefore, outing for event, I prefer my African print. I prefer African print for any event.
Do you have a plug that like you?
Yes, I thought collectibles is my best plug for anything African print. Of course, this is not I thought collectibles. This is one of my friends who makes the tie and dye batik thing. But trust me, most of my outings, if I'm going out, maybe for a special event, occasion, MC, I thought collectibles is my go-to because you don't need to say it's fitting, it's class, and it's African. So I go for it anytime, any day. And he is one of the sponsors for my events. I mean, people get to win I touch prints on my shows. So he is one of the pioneer sponsors of Stage Alive with his African brand of print. And people always look forward to it. Imagine buying a ticket of 2K and you can win a cloth of 15K right there on the spot. So that's a lot.
Okay, I'll put it in mind.
So people always look forward to that part because my shows are in segments. I have the live band. It's not just about coming to see a stage play. Yeah. It's about entertainment and fun generally. So we have the live band entertaining people. The red carpet is a whole madhouse itself. The giveaway session too. And we always do celebrant of the month too on the show where we have a baking house supply us cake for whoever is celebrating, whatever it is celebrating. Like I told you, it's a community. We are not just concerned about you coming to pay for ticket to see our shows. We want to know you more. And I'm looking forward to when I get to that stage of adequate funds. I want to start having picnic with my audience member. I mean, after seeing a play, we all gather to have a picnic. Maybe about the play, talk about the play over some snack or anything. But then.
Okay, so are you planning to get married anytime soon? It's not funny now, it's a serious matter. Well, seriously, you don't know. Sorry, it might be somebody's prayer point now. The person will be like, okay.
Actually, it just sounded like my mom because her question is rhetorical. Like, are you sure you want to marry? Of course. I look forward to getting married.
That's not the question. Family. I said anytime soon.
The economy is not making it look anytime soon. But then.
But you cannot continue to look at the economy now because.
I will not continue to look at the economy, but at the same time, I don't want to start something I cannot finish. I want to be an independent man. Like even if I'm getting married, I should be well aware of my environment to know that okay, I'm ready for it. I don't even have a car yet, so I don't want to have a wife that will be flying back.
Well, that's a good one.
Yeah.
But you are really going to wait till when you buy a car.
Because I'll be buying a car very soon. So getting married, say in the space of in the next 2 years, I actually think I'll be married.
It's still close.
It's still within range. So I'll be married.
Okay, is there someone or you're still?
Yeah, there were people before now.
There were people before now. So what about now?
But now, in the present time, I'm still a single man with a lot of hopes and dreams. So the concentration is on the hustle for now.
On the hustle.
Hopefully, along the line, we'll find someone that fits into the hustle. Then we can blend the life.
Deep.
Yeah.
All right. In recent times, there have been awards for movies, directors, producers, and all of that, Nollywood in general. But I don't know, is there any special recognition for theater people?
Well, for now, there is none. For now, I mean, an award set aside, especially for theater, I don't think there is none. If you hear of any award, maybe it's all these associations that set awards aside for themselves. But say something like Hammer Award for theater, there is none. So the only one that I knew about recently was an award for theater students, not for professional. They call it Theater Student Awards. And I heard about maybe 2 years ago or last year. So hopefully it's one of the things that I have in my box of bucket list of things that I might want to tick. Maybe an award generally, but theater artists, theater professionals, that will be a standard award that will be looked up in the nearest future. So
Alright, thank you so much, Emmylyskilz.
Emmylyskilz,
Emmylyskilz, yeah. Thank you for coming. I'm really excited to have you here because it's such an honor to talk to a celebrity like you. Who am I in the scheme of things? I'm a small girl. Thank you for coming.
It's actually my pleasure being here. Actually.
And I hope that they will call you the next time.
Trust me, I always want to be here. So when next you're calling me, hopefully I'll be married. So I'll come with my kids.
Okay. No problem.
But then anytime you call
we're willing to receive all of you.
Yeah, I mean it's going to be a family interview.
That's so. Alright, thank you everyone for staying with us, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and click the notification button as well, and also follow us on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. Till meet next time, I still remain Victoria. Bye.
Hi guys, my name is Orisunmbare Emmanuel, Emmylyskilz, your favorite theater producer and creative director. I want you all to keep it locked down to this YouTube channel for the best of content. And you trust me, anything Emmylyskilz endorses is class, is top notch. So subscribe, put on the notification button to enjoy more content from this YouTube channel. Don't forget, I am your best creative director, Emily Billionaire. I'm signing out. Thank you.